rocking there.
All right.
Yeah, that looks good.
Looks good, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello.
Here we are.
Dr. Morse, and we're doing a YouTube video here talking about fasting and working the juice fasting. I mean, what did you say? You had what? How many months of what?
Just about 4 months. It was about 70 days of grape juice, mostly.
Ooh,
There was some lemons in there too, but it was 75 days of that. And then I didn't want to stop that, but with it's like most people, they know when they can't handle the fruit.
Yeah.
But for me, it was the opposite. It was the longer that I went on it, it was getting more and more powerful, and so it really, you'll never stop getting surprised on this, right?
No, you never will.
You never will.
You never will.
Right.
What a journey, eh?
It's.
Then you did oranges, what?
Then I did about a month on OJ, and yeah.
Well, for me, it was the same thing. I did 6 months on navel oranges, and it was like I couldn't get enough, and it was more and more and more. What made me break it was the energy that you get.
Yeah. Yes. And
you too?
Well, I would have went a lot longer, but it was just a combination of like my lease was up down here, and I was trying to find I've been having a hard time finding a place without mold, pets, smoke, and
luck.
Toxins. And,
oh man, you have to live in the woods.
Right.
That's what I did.
Yeah. And so basically, it was just having the lack of community was what was really starting to drag on me, because
really? You didn't take it inward and get into the self?
I did it for quite a while, but just with I've been on the road and traveling, and I work on the road, and
Well, you got a cabin in Maine, right?
I do, but it started to get to, which I wanted to ask you later. It started to get too isolating, and I'm trying to figure out how to reintegrate back into like society and stuff, and I'm doing like for a while I was like, I don't need community, I can just be and I was content up until a year and a half ago, when I got super diseased to just be in the woods, even in the winter, climb mountains all the time, be with the bears and the moose, and I was content on a lot of levels, but it wasn't nourishing spiritually, it wasn't purpose, it wasn't any of that, but it was But now I'm like, no, I don't want my homestead. I want the fruitstead. I need my tropical paradise.
Exactly. Forget the bears and that. You want down on there with the beach and the fruit trees and the coconut trees. Well, it's fitting more with man, although I like to get in the woods and kind of energize with the mountains every once in a while. But well, you bring up something important, and that is because I've been a seeker of the alone state. I've been a seeker of that which exists. And it is through you, the doorway. There's plenty of spiritual giants that have said, you're the living truth, you're the doorway. It isn't, you can't take a rocket ship to the doorway to the God worlds or to the heavens. You're the doorway. But people go, well, how am I the doorway? But it's consciousness versus thought. And when you get into these higher levels of fruit, you pull more into consciousness and less thinking. You notice that at all? Where it kind of quiets your mind, but it like expands you?
Yeah. And it just takes away any sort of irritation in your mind and your body. It's just,
I have fun, and it does. It's hard to explain to others how it takes that irritation out. It's not like this. It's like a buzz, but it's like consciousness. It's no longer thought, and like you said, agitated thought and emotions. It like quiets you because it's energetic. Energy is consciousness, and it's like hard to explain if you don't understand that side of it. Boy, I'm proud of you. That's pretty good. Yeah, but there was a point where I had to come out of the woods. I did. I had to come out because I said, how can I help man, right? Yeah. So I would get to the edge of the woods and I'd look out over these developments and I'd go, I don't know if I'd go back, because humans are interesting. Like on our YouTube site, they're judgmental, some of them, they're trolls and stuff like this. And all the good people out there trying to get well, and then someone throws in these negative things, and it's like, why be negative? If it doesn't fit your shoe, don't wear it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, enjoy someone's experience for what it is, and if it doesn't, turn to something else. But people have to be negative at negative times. So
very.
I know.
It's so thick right now. The duality.
It is thick.
It's.
It is.
That was the problem. Is I was I experienced some things that I might not tell too many people about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And there's a lot I haven't told anybody yet because it's extremely powerful. And humans are not ready for some of these levels, you know. No offense, but it's true. There's a world of awareness and beings that when you tap that, you start interfacing with beings that are just extremely awake. And the masters start coming and helping you more, and it's just like, how fast do you want to become that which is? So I had to kind of ground myself, believe this or not. I had to come off the fruit. It wasn't that I got sick or nothing. My body wanted more and more and more, but I was buzzing. I could feel my blood energetically. It's like, holy crap! I got to ground a little bit.
Yeah. Yes.
So you might find that.
Yeah.
One guy went over to Thailand and living on the Thai fruits, some of the best in the world. And he called me and says, how do I ground myself? He said, I got so much energy, I never get tired, I never sleep anymore, because you're becoming consciousness, which doesn't have yin and yang, it doesn't have positive and negative, it doesn't sleep, it just is.
Yeah.
I know, that's pretty exciting.
It really is.
Yeah, but you got to ground, a little bit.
It
might be your time to get back in.
Interface
with humans and teach them what you learned. And
I've been really trying to do that, but I feel this when I'm not at your classes or when I'm not at a fruit festival, it's like the other 11 months of the year, I'm just like, whoa. You guys know, right? You guys know, it's like, we're not lost, but we feel lost sometimes, but
we're found.
Exactly.
We're found, and that's the point. It's home. Someone said this site feels like home. It is home, guys, because that's we teach home. We teach God awareness, and you don't have to do anything to have it because you already are from it. If I can use that analogy, already are here, and there is nowhere to go. The heavens aren't some place you travel to. It is some place that exists omnipresently, omnipotently, and omnisciently. So it's just something that, it's like you say, that fruit level. Now some people struggle. I think they get bad fruit too. They get bad fruit. And then a lot of people interface with the mind and emotions. Where a guy like you and me, we don't let it all go.
Oh, yeah.
We're let it all go because you want the ultimate. You got to let all this little stuff in yourself go. Develop humility for life and go, I found the answers. I found the doorway.
Yeah.
And just keep surrendering to the doorway.
And it's just like riding a bike.
It is.
The more you do it, it's like, I talk a lot about spirituality. I talk about the mind and stopping the cycles and the patterns and stuff on my channel. And it's like the moment that we can just tap. It's like the nanosecond, even less, just that we can tap in and figure out. Oh, is this the past, the future? Is this my worries, my planning? Is this me? Am I in my body right now? Do I know I'm a living being? Like, it's just like riding a bike, right?
It is.
It's work, though.
But here's the thing: that once you start getting into that more awareness,
right?
Then the mind comes in and goes, "But."
Yeah.
You go, no buts. I just am. No, but. And it's like, am I thinking? And it's the thoughts that trap you, your very thoughts. And it's like, sometimes they're not even your thoughts because you have the negative forces, the controller of those, and that's the game out there. How much of awareness do you want, and how much stability can you have with that outside of the mind? See, because the mind defines, gives you definition, where consciousness doesn't have definition to it, so it's scary for some who need definition to define themselves. Good job though. Some of these guys are kicking it, man. They're year raw, year fruit. Hey, what about that lady's 27 years fruitarian? Like, oh my God, honey, you're a prize, because that's amazing.
You talking about Ann Osborne? There's a few of them.
I know. It's like, man, my love goes out to those guys because I couldn't do it. I had to ground. I was working out. I couldn't stay in my body. I like, boom, it was like, holy crap. So I kind of had to ground, and realize who's the traveler as opposed to traveling,
Mm-hmm. Like you were just saying about, are the thoughts yours or not? Exactly. There's that collective subconscious thing. So if we were back in the tropics 3,000 years ago or whatever, it would be a lot easier to be on this fruit level because it's the natural food of man. It's just,
come on. It's hard to define that, but quality of fruit makes a big difference. I had a homeopath in Romania, and she was sick as all get out. And I said, well, you got Thailand right over there. Why don't you just go over there for a few weeks? She went over there for 2 or 3 weeks, and she said on Thai food, all her symptoms disappeared. So the quality of food makes a big difference. Some food, like some of these oranges that come in here organic, they're acidic as heck. And it's like, that's not truly organic. Because if you raise your fruit organically, mostly you're going to see high carbon. You're going to see sweet, nirvanic, just like good lemons. They don't have to be super tart. I mean, a good Myers lemon off of a tree, right? Organic. I mean, those pineapples that they sent me from Hawaii,
gosh.
it's like, I eat it and every time going, I think I'm having a nirvanic experience. Really good.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
Man should spend his time about the quality of his food. We were raised farming, and the farmers back then were yield crazy. Monsanto and these companies were pushing yields and yields. Well, farmers were thinking cha-ching, cha-ching, because, all the hard work, and they didn't realize the suffering of the quality of the soil and the quality of the food, and that you're going to have that go backwards. And time, the quality of the soils are going down. You can't keep hitting it like that, and you're going to lose quality and lose production even. So when you flip to organic, it's like, baby, mulching and things like that. If we can just train our farmers. Our strawberries around here used to be so sweet, they would melt in your mouth. And one strawberry farmer was saying, well, we had to change because they were too hard to grow.
Right.
Well, who cares?
Right.
I mean, I would be proud of my food. I'm a farmer. This is my food.
Right.
Do you like?
Yeah.
Oh, look, he likes.
People pay. It's like Patagonia, the company. People pay for that quality and for the environmental stuff, and it's like there's such a low.
I know.
Whatever it is.
It is. It's low consciousness, and we've got to. But that's why we have beautiful YouTube sites. I love YouTube. They definitely have helped the world a lot by offering this level of interaction. And our group is just such a beautiful group because they're like, you guys are just really getting into it, finding your ways, finding your balances, because it is a spiritual journey, much as you know. It is a spiritual journey because it quiets, like you said, quiets your mind and emotions. And when you start quieting that, you start seeing more. Knowing more.
Yep.
Isn't that neat?
It's really neat.
I know. So what are you going to do now?
What am I going to do now?
You got freezing weather in Maine.
Oh no, I'm trying to either get down to the tropics because I don't work till June-ish.
Go to Costa Rica. Everybody's heading down there.
I think that's where I'm going.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
There's so much beauty in the tropics. I mean, that's where my heart is. This is the subtropics. I'm just still a little east, and I could go down a little further, like just about 50 miles away. You can grow some of the best fruit on the planet on Pine Island. Some of the Dr. Jensen used to fly in here and get those big, huge mangoes. The Valencia Prides. Well, I've got about 4 big Valencia Pride trees, and if it freezes, I lose.
Right.
So I got to have heat lamps and everything else.
Yep.
But my God, it's like nectar of the friggin' gods, man. I know.
So lovely. Oh my gosh.
You ever see animals? They do this animal thing, and they're just how animals get buzzes. And look at the birds down here. Sometimes they get on a berry tree and they get buzzed. They'll fly into things. They're not careful.
Yeah.
They get a buzz eating the berries, man.
They do. Seagulls too. They like grapes. I'm like,
oh my God.
They know good stuff. I had these seeded organic globe grapes. I know they're not in season, but they're from Peru, and I was like, okay, I'll get some of these. And they know how to grow fruit down in South America. There's seeds.
Yeah, the propaganda up here tries to discourage that. It's like, excuse me.
Yeah.
Our southern brothers, they like good tasting food.
Right.
I get these elders in here from the islands, and they're in their 90s and early 100s, and it's like, you look really good.
Yeah, right.
You're 100 years old, and you really look good. You look like you're 60 or 50. What were you raised on? Fruit. In the olden days, the poor islands, that's all they had was fruit. They didn't even eat meat. Then they introduced the meat. Well, the higher caste, some of those started eating meat. Well, you know what happened to them. So, all the good-hearted people, they kept on the fruits, and boy, they looked good. Had their teeth in their 80s,
Yep.
Love that. Proof's in the pudding there.
Truly is.
Yeah.
And the longer you go on it, because I've been raw, pretty raw, mostly fruit.
So what's your body going through? You felt different cycles or anything?
It's been a year and a half raw. and most of about, not totally, but long stints of it, and mostly fruit for me. And it's like, and there's a few months of just juice, so it wasn't a full year. I found out about you a little under a year and a half ago, but basically my body, let me just say this, a year and a half, I'm starting to get to some really high levels, but I'm not total. Healing takes time. Real, true. This is true healing, and I've been looking for it my entire life. I've been organic 10 plus years, gluten and dairy free 8 or 9 years, non-G, all of that crap, all of it, the grass fed, all that for such a long period of time, and like always trying to find the truth of health.
Another step up,
right? And here it is, and this is the truth. I have to spread it. Like after level 2, I just went back to the hotel. I let it out, and I'm like, I have to spread this truth. I have to give it back. But
fun
like,
stuff, ain't it?
But I did meander, and it's really fun. But basically, like what I was saying before I went into that tangent was, like if I just went raw for like 7 months, maybe 9 months, maybe a year, and did not mess up, or even probably less, probably 6 months, I would be in a whole nother. But it's just that one meal of cooked food. If you're not,
meal
can really set you back.
One meal.
If it's not the right time.
Exactly.
I tell people to
try it, do all raw, and then just do one meal of cooked. Or those people that have to have their meat and potatoes, because we get all levels here and there. There are serious problems,
Yeah.
And so not all of them have the agenda to be at the levels that we like. So I get that, and that's okay.
Right.
But if you want to get well, you're full of acidosis and you're burning from head to toe. You got tumors all through. You got to toe the line a little bit,
Yeah.
But they still want to go back and say, "Oh, go ahead for a while, then go back and see it kick your butt." They do. They come in and go, "Oh, that kicked my butt bad." Yeah. You can't go back sometimes, your body doesn't want that kind of, I don't even call it food. People say out there this big paleo movement. It's dead cells and stagnant blood. They think it's healthy, and what is it? It's dead tissue. And it's like, what's healthy about dead tissue? And if you cook it energetically, it's zero. You have to eat it raw to get any electromagnetic energy out of it. And then what are you getting? It's like, another
protein,
acid,
pain,
I know, pain, another acid ash food. Then I lose my calcium, cramping, and no.
It's just another fad diet, Dr.
It is.
It's just like the raw food diet. It's not a fad diet. Right?
That's the way it is. Well, look at Dr. Oz. He took 12 people to the zoo. You never hear anything about that anymore. His show's pushing supplements.
Did they just kind of course, they just try to go, hey, this never happened. They're trying to erase it.
Yeah, he's trying to erase it. Now he's being a medical doctor. And, of course, Congress pulled him in for pushing supplements that don't work. And it's like, good, Remy's butt. Here's a guy that touched it and then walked away from it. And I tell you, once in a while I see him fit up, and I bet he's on raw. But he doesn't push it. And it's like, what's wrong with him?
Oh.
Huh. I know. Well, when people understand the lymphatic system more, they understand what's going on with that, they understand the fruit levels and the power of that energetically into the cells, my God. It regenerates. It lifts every cell up into its higher blueprint, and cells regenerate themselves. It's amazing. The body realigns itself. If you're hanging on like this, the body will actually pull itself and realign it. What power is that?
The power.
I know. I've seen some things in my world. I'm working on people, and it's like, my jaw still drops sometimes. Like, really? The body did that? It was amazing to see some of this stuff. Healing old fractures and realigning the hips and everything on its own. Scoliosis always pulls itself straight. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
Where's the power? That's the power of the raw. It's the power of higher consciousness, higher foods. People don't understand it. Medical doctors are so lost in the fields of nowhere land. It's like, couldn't even come to that. They need to understand these higher levels. Even if you can't attain them, that's okay, but understand that when you put your shoes on and you're putting them on the fruit side, you're going to soar. Fruits and berries. I mean, holy crap. Up where you are, we got the blueberries and blackberries and all. Mm-hmm.
but I'm like never there during that time.
Oh,
So it's like, when I'm there, I go forage for a month, and I'm like trying to stock up for like a bear would do. But
like a bear would do.
you know. But,
I see these Alaska shows, and they're out there picking the blueberries, but then it's winter time, whatever, and it's like, oh no. And in fact, I was looking at this one magazine, and they have a new blackberry that's about as big as my thumb, and I'm going, they guarantee sweet and all that. I'm going, I wonder if I could grow them here in Florida, because we have alkaline soils, and berries need acidic soils, and I'm like, oh, but maybe I could grow those there, because having big, huge, sweet blackberries growing all over the place, or big, plump blueberries, they got huge blueberries now, but they're never sweet.
They're never,
get blueberries, they're bitter. I'm going, bitter blueberries, melt in your mouth is honey. I know.
Food supply is just slowly getting.
I know. You said you had some questions. What do you think?
Yeah, there's questions. I was going to ask you about. I wasn't sure how this was going to happen because it was scheduled. Yeah, it was scheduled for an interview, and I'm just like, all right, I'm going to buckle up because the bowl just did kick me off. I've been like how I broke my fast. That's a whole other story, and it seems just harder and harder.
You know what? That's important. Why don't you talk about that? Because that's important. Yeah, because breaking a fast. Listen, you're long-term raw. You can't just look at McFadden. Broke a fast on boiled potatoes and kill these bugs. You got to know what you're doing when you're getting these high levels.
Yeah. Well, I knew exactly that this was not the best thing in the world, but I was just, I was having a couple dark moments, and just stuff was just cleaning house, and just basically I did a 5-day dry fast, which I've never felt the power of the dry fast. That's not for everyone, guys. Obviously, but
especially long-term dry fasts. That guy, parachute didn't open. He did 12 days.
12 days.
And his urine, looked. It looked like sewage.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So basically, I did that, and then 5 days later, or a week later, I broke the fast, and this was not what I wanted. It wasn't the worst thing to break a fast with, but it was not something I would ever plan on. Or I knew this was wrong, but I didn't care. I was just. Because food I used to be such a hardcore drug addict like 11 plus years ago, and so I still have hard times with the addictive. And being the hermit for so long.
Oh yeah.
Food is the only person I've seen on a consistent basis.
Exactly.
So I'm working through it. I'm getting above it, but it's just. So I broke the fast with avocados. Like not the worst thing,
really?
but not a good thing. Not a good thing.
Not a good thing.
Gallstones. It was okay. It wasn't painful. I've done weird dry fasts where I did avocados before the dry fast, so I know how it works.
High oils pump those babies out, baby.
No, I did.
You did all better.
Did some stuff, yeah. But stupid. But also that's how when I just haven't had. Okay, guys, make sure. You get support. Get with a counselor. Get with a detox specialist. I can recommend a lot of really good detox specialists. Yeah. But it's just because I only saw Marcy twice, and honestly, I should have seen her more, especially for just the emotional support. And so that's one of the things that I could have done better in this 1.5-year journey.
Well, I got one better than that. I got one better than that. I'm in the woods for about 2 years, all raw, right?
Yeah.
Fruit predominantly. So. I come out, I'm alone, so I meet this girl, and so a bunch of them are going to Ohio, and they said, "Why don't you tag along?" I said, "Well, okay, I'll tag along." I kind of like this lady and stuff, and so I'm buzzing, We get in this airport, Ohio, middle of the night, snowing and everything else, and I'm going like this now, and I changed my whole matrix, so I'm starving, and there's this little bitty hamburger place, right? That's all. And I'm starving, and it's cold, and I'm going over the top there, right? So I looked at the menu, and French fries, and nothing on there but fish. Well, I haven't had meat in years, and I was going, nothing. Nothing. Not a fruit, not a salad, no nothing, right? So I'm going, well, maybe I'll have a little of the fish. Yeah. All right. So I woke up in the middle of the night, and it's like someone took a baseball bat and hit me upside the man's private stuff. Oh. And you know how that hurts. But it's like a baseball bat. I was in so much pain, they rushed me to the emergency room, right? Ooh. And I could remember McFadden, so I just killed myself.
Right.
I freaking killed myself.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
I said, I just killed myself. No, it spasmed my kidney so much it popped out a kidney stone. And it was a kidney stone. And it's like, well, at least I didn't die from it. But boy, let me tell you,
Yeah.
I learned my lesson. It was like I went from extremely high to extremely low. Whack!
Right.
Oh, man. So I know what you're talking about.
Right. Yeah. Oh my God.
So what should we break it on?
Fruit. Juice,
Always break
fruit.
long-term fast on fruit.
Oh, yeah,
Watery
always.
fruit.
Oh, watery.
Even though
watermelon.
watermelon, papaya, oranges or something like that. You don't want to break any fast over a week with anything
never
other than fruit.
Never. That's what I tell people. I'm like, I'm just upfront with my channel. I want them to see my process and how I'm getting through it because.
Yeah,
and
avocados are considered a fruit,
it's still
I guess,
fruit.
but I call them
It's-
veggie fruit. It's like more pudding type stuff. I love them. But not something to break a long-term fast because you need to flush. You need to get those kidneys moving because just like you see the sediment coming out, you're stagnant. You need water, astringents, things like that. And so it does make a big difference how you break your fast.
It does, and especially like 115 days. It was basically, it wasn't a master fast, but it was kind of.
That was good.
It was long. It was longer,
kidding?
but it was light. But with how long it was. That was it not smart at all. And plus, when you, like the Gino guy, he says that when you break something that long, because this isn't a 40-day water, this is a lot longer where you're not digesting.
Exactly.
And so he claims that it takes like 2 to 3 weeks for your digestion, as long as you're breaking it the correct way, to actually start working right. And when you do a long juice fast, then when you break it right, you're cleaning on a whole different level because now you have the fiber coming back in and it's pushing some stuff out the right way.
I've always thought the goal of breatharian, because you read, you mentioned some books earlier.
Oh, Hotima. I try not to talk about Hotima too much.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I know, he's out there. But you know what? I love people that were out there, Hotima, Carrington, all these natural hygienists who were deeper into that.
Right.
Hotima, of course, the oranges. That's what turned me on to the oranges was Hotima.
because I told you, I just read that book. And I kept seeing where you I see
you see that little journey I made through there, right? Well, these guys are doing the same thing. They were out there. They were shoving it and going deeper and deeper into these levels. And then you had the other hygienists going into the vegetables and the carrot juices and stuff. And it was like, you had these boys going way out there, and it's like, holy moly! I remember him, George Clements.
Yeah, he had like 3 names.
Yeah, like that. Oh man! But these guys were. They taught us like Arnold Ara taught us.
I don't know what we do without those.
I know.
Because it's just.
Well, you guys are the same way. You guys are the trendsetters because you got a whole world of people going, what? And you guys are showing and demonstrating the power of the raw, the power of the fruit, and regeneration. Look at some of these guys on the YouTube who cleaned themselves up of all kinds of genetics. Look at the kid we put up, 7 years old, cerebral, all this. It's just on fruit. And it's like, no, this world has got to get with this. What the Homo sapien, the human body is, what it needs, what it requires. And we're a neurological species. Or not. We can dumb ourselves down pretty good. Man has pretty good,
There's not one thing you can do to go around the laws of nature. It's just the way. I'm sorry. I like my little Indian food too. I do.
I do too, but it kicks my butt.
I know.
But it's a flavors.
The flavors.
It's not about what it is. It's the flavors. Because you're at a different level. If I'm going to be in this world, let me experience the world a little bit. But don't let kick my butt too much.
Right. Oh my God.
I know. I hate that. But you know what? It is what it is. A lot of people reincarnated through those worlds, and some of those are distant memories. It's like, I remember this flavor. What lifetime was that? I know. Wow. You should have said Indian. No,
I'm sorry. No, when someone says it to me, I know it.
But when you're way out there, the one thing it does do is make you appreciate different types of foods. It's like, can I just taste? I got one guy. He works for me. He just moves these huge trees, and he's had cancer here and everything. Where he didn't listen. Now he's listening. So he went through the hyperbaric chamber thing, and let me tell you, it ain't what you think it is. Let me tell you. Oh my God, what it does to your eyes, what it does to you, no, not good. So I have him on all raw, and he said, I want this greasy hamburger. So he's just craving. You know how you get craving sometimes when you start kicking up?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. I was on a water fast, and I was, about the third day, I'm craving Reese's peanut butter cups. Remember that? I'm craving them, but nah. Fourth day, I'm craving even more. Like the fourth or fifth day, I couldn't control myself. I ran into this convenience store, grabbed a pack, opened it up, ate like 3 or 4 of them, and then kept on going with my water fast. That did it, and that's all I needed. I just kept on going. It didn't bother me. I was done with that. It was like, here it is, you're done, keep on going.
See, I'm having trouble stopping. Like, after I have that cooked food one time, sometimes I cannot, and I'm good every time on the fruit during the day, but that emotional time, making up for the parts of lack that I created for myself and that just are parts of my life now, it's just,
well, you're raised with that. You're raised with cooked foods and stuff, and so the emotional component with your parents and your siblings and all this and the experiences and stuff. And when time gets harder, sometimes you pull back to those days where you felt a little more free because you didn't have all the stuff coming at you. And so the food, the memory of the foods and stuff, but that needs to clean out and get those memories cleaned out of there because it wasn't good.
Right.
You know, it was just like you said, the emotional component. This is another thing, is that the emotional world is the first door from this one. So that's what hits you first, and that's the adrenal. Your lower burner's working up, right? So there you go. You hit your adrenals, you hit your emotional worlds, and that's what everybody hits. You got to be willing to go, okay, this is all about me and my journey. Not selfishly, but you're the only one that exists in your worlds, and as much as you love everybody and your loved ones and everything else, nobody's walking in your shoes, baby. And how do you want to walk? And what happens when you're time to leave the body? Where are you going? You know, and it said, I like knowing. I don't like unconsciousness.
I can't. I haven't been like that for a long time. Right when I saw your videos, right when I first saw the first one, I was just like, no, this is it wasn't just about getting the body and the mind and. Well, it was about, it's a spiritual thing. I'm like, and just how you stand for truth, and it's just like, that's how I've always been.
That's why you don't see pop-ups on our videos.
Right,
I know a lot of the bros are putting pop-ups and making tons of money. We don't do any crap like that.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it is what it is, you know. Truth is truth.
Yeah.
But once you learn just what you're doing, you're learning to quiet those minds, let all that stuff clean out. Say, all right, you clean out over there, you're not going to bother me. I'm stable in my awareness. Yeah, my emotions, okay, go. My thoughts go. Who knows where they're coming from? Who cares? Even if it comes from your own, who cares? You claim your mind, you own it. You're only using it. It's like you're using the body, not you. That's my point, is that you got to identify who you are. Well, it's hard when you're so locked into your body. Fruit unlocks that door. Frees you up.
It does, and then the cooked food does the opposite.
I know.
Doles you down. So it's a puzzle. It's a big puzzle, guy. It's a Rubik's cube. It is because when you're up here, when you're on the fruit for a month or whatever it is, you're in the light. You're in the clouds. You got angels talking to you. Who knows what's happening? And then when you go back, you're just like, it's so. It takes years, I think, to find balance in the raw.
I think so
right?
too. I think so too.
Except for some of these guys are just like, bam, how are you doing? How are you just going?
I used to be that way. I used to, give me more, give me more. And then I've been ripped out of my body and taken all kinds of places and all kinds of things. Okay, I get it. I get it. Yeah, I get it. I'm good.
Right.
I know I have friends that say, give me more. And it's like, I remember one biker guy, he was the president of the Outlaws of Ohio. This guy was bad. I got him on fruit levels. I turned this bad boy into a love, baby. He was a love. And he kept saying, give me more, give me. He was rough. He'd take the herbs and just drink them, you know, and I'm going, you know. So he was a tough guy, you know. They took him and pretty soon he goes, okay, I get it. I get it. Because, man, it is a beast of another flavor. These masters will take you as much as you want. You read some of these journeys these beings have been on, it's like, living in dungeons for years and years in the deep alone states and stuff like that. It's like, got to be prepared to meet yourself. It's like the movie Circle of Iron. You fight and you fight and you fight and you go, and then you open the book and it's you. I tell you, there's a lot of wisdom in that, though. And the big thing is that you're the key. You're the input. You're everything. And when you realize that, then you get happy and stable in yourself. Then you can have relationships or whatever, and you don't lose yourself in relationship. You don't need a relationship. You have it because it's good to have a buddy. It's good to have someone to talk to. Isn't it? I mean, it's good to have a compadre to talk to and say, hey, let's talk about the universe instead of, hey, this guy, had an affair with this person, or just gossip stuff, And it's like, that's what man does, is and talk about others all the time. It's like, how about some etheric conversations? Yeah, what did you experience out there? Some higher levels of communication. That's what's fun. And I think we're getting good communities like that where we can rap at a higher level. Thank you.
I mean, you said something about the floodgates a couple of videos back, and I mean, I know that when I went to level 1 and 2, both of them, just the energy that the people that came there,
neat?
I felt I'm an energy person, and I ran from it a little bit for a lot of my life in some ways, but. Yeah. I've never felt it like that,
this level 2 was a buzz.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, it's level 2. But I said it earlier. This is power up year. I'm powering up.
It is.
And it's like power up, baby, because it is going to get wild, energetically, and testing you. And this is your time to make it. Mm-hmm. This is your time to go through the doors of the heavens and power up, baby. It's not time for weakness. The meek shall inherit the earth, and literally you can have it. This is just a drama. This is just a stage that you're playing out on. And don't take it too seriously, or it'll rip you. Mm-hmm. Don't take anything too serious, because all it is here today, gone tomorrow. Once the scene is dead, it's dead unless you put your attention back on it. Mm-hmm. People have to learn your attention is your power. But you can look at anything that's dead and turn it to life again. Turn away from it, it goes dead again. You're the power. It's true. Fun stuff.
It's really fun.
I know. Any more questions? Because you had some.
I got some.
It's hard,
How did you get into spirituality, and maybe I don't know if you want to talk about the act a little bit.
Yeah, well, it was just that sort of thing. I would walk around the camp. I was living in parks, state parks and national parks, and I was just pulled up to this campsite and was talking to them, walking around and talking about out-of-bodies, and some guy said, you want to know about out-of-body experiences? And I said, yeah, man, that sounds cool. He says, they're Rosicrucians. And I found later he was a police detective, and it's like a police detective talking about out-of-body traveling. But the Rosicrucians are a nice old organization about out-of-body travel, but influencing others and stuff like that. No. And then a good friend of mine, he was at a university and found an Eck book and flapped it down. I think it was a Tiger's thing or something. And when I read it, I said, this guy knows. This guy knows too. Because I've been looking at all the spiritual books on the planet. I read a lot of the Upanishads and Bhagavad Gitas, and I was looking at all the different Watts was popular back then in terms of philosophy, and Nietzsche and all those. I read those, and I'm trying to find the answers of truth, And then I found J. Krishnamurti, who broke my chain of thought just like that. Because if you get it and you stop thinking, you've got it. You've got it. Now it's a process of learning to stop thinking, catching yourself thinking, and then learning to become the observer. And then the Eck books came, and then the masters just started taking you there. And those Eck masters were like, holy crap. They would take me out of my body, take me on journeys and all kinds of stuff, where I'd be here giving a lecture, and they'd pop right here talking to me. Fubi Kantz in particular, he's one heck of a master. But he'll train you, brother. Or he'll use a 2x4.
Wow.
Whack!
Okay, yeah.
You get it now?
Sometimes we need that. Sometimes we need that, you know?
Yeah, he's the one who came out and said, you stop thinking and stop talking, and there's nothing you won't know.
Oh, really?
And they're like, I get it. Yeah, because we're too busy in our own worlds thinking and planning and talking, and it's like, stop that. Become the observer, and then all the answers. You start seeing things that you didn't see because your attention is freed up. That's simple. You don't have to read books and books and books. This is about being in the now. Freeing your attention up from thought and emotions and just become the observer. That's all consciousness is anyway. There's no duality in consciousness. It's ever present, so there's nowhere to go to have it. You can't take a spaceship and go anywhere. There's not a door you can knock on. Can I? St. Peter, hi there. No, it's I'm the present and I'm the potent, and they don't get that a lot. lot of times. There's nowhere to go. You're living the living truth. It's just the mind puts you into the world of duality, yin and yang, creation. For and against, positive and negative. No, that's your drama. That's the movie. You know, you can play a movie as long as you don't get lost in it.
Right.
You know, because you're kind of in your own movie, traveling around, helping others. That's a little bit of a movie. You got to be in a movie to have a body. Has to have, you know, some points of identification. But outside of that, don't get too lost in it. Right. One of the biggest problems, though, is as you grow spiritually, losing those points of identification. Because if you want the higher levels, you can no longer exist.
Can't identify with that.
Yeah, you can no longer. You can't have points of the self anymore. Can't be Robert, Kyle. Can't be any of that.
Yeah.
Because that's identification. That's putting yourself in form. If you want the all of the all, there's no, and that's difficult. That means that you could drive down this highway 5 times a day, and each time it would be all new. I've never been here before, because in the now there is no memory. So everything is new in the moment. And that's tough to ride with, baby. You've got to be, you know, it takes a little while to learn how to navigate at that level.
And let go of it all.
Can't be male, can't be female, can't be informed. That's consciousness. And then you can have form, but I can't even remember the last time I ever thought myself as a gendered being. Because you're not.
Yeah, but much more.
I know.
Much more.
You can enjoy gendered beings,
yeah,
but you don't want to always be one.
Right.
Yeah. Limitation, you know, this might freak a lot of people out because it's going to go up on our YouTube site. It's like, don't let it freak you out, guys. Fun stuff.
No.
Yeah, it's getting your freedom back, and your freedom is so much more than a lot of humans can even imagine. They're just informed playing games.
Right.
Once you let go of that.
Right. It's amazing. It's just it's all smiles from there. Like what I say to a lot of the YouTubers that have been watching me, and you know, when I talk about the spiritual, I don't try to get too out there. I haven't talked about Hotima, I don't think yet, but it's just like I just urge people to always think for themselves. If you don't think what people talk about is whatever, then that's okay. It's just the key is to think for yourself, because if you're not, then you're gonna be stuck on what your parents told you, or what society has brainwashed you to do or think. You're gonna be lost in your mind.
Yeah.
And so I just urge people to, you know, don't get scared of what you don't understand.
Yeah.
Try to understand it.
That's the point. That's a good point. Don't be scared of what you don't understand. Try to look at it and see where they're coming from. Because they might experience levels you've not experienced yet, and can offer you a level to understand more. So to understand that, if you've never experienced it, you have to look at it. You can't think about it because your mind hasn't had the experience yet. And the mind is what registers experiences, the lower causal mind. That's where you got your past and your future. That's where everything's registered. Outside above that, now you're in the universal mind. Now you're getting more in toward consciousness where there is no registering so much. And so, holy moly. So you have to, you know, I always listen to people's experiences because they've had them. And I like seeing, you know, how they fit that in and stuff. It's pretty cool, you know. But experiences are experiences. They're a dime a dozen. You can have them any day of the week, you know. But awakeness, being aware, that's key to your survival. The drama is the drama. You know, you go to a movie, you watch another movie, you watch TV, and people are watching one movie, and then all these cell phones and all these computers and stuff, they're getting in one little reality, another reality, make this reality. Pretty soon you don't even know. Like an actor, you forget who you are. And it's like, well, don't forget who you are, or the drama is not always fun.
It's hard to not get lost in the complexity of today's world.
It is.
And that's part of why I was like, I'm going to the woods for a bunch of years.
Exactly.
You know? So it's like,
well, you hit it right on the head, complexity. And it's like intellectualism and academics. People hear me talk about academics. I like academics. I'm a science-minded person. My job here on the planet is obvious. I take the complex and make it simplistic.
Yeah,
but if I can't understand the complex, then I can't make it simplistic, and vice versa.
Right.
So people might think I don't have education, but no, I do.
Right.
But I have to understand the complexity of chemistry, the complexity of physics, to be able to offer it to you in the simplistic form, because they're getting way out there, narcissistically and everywhere. The medical community is lost so far into that, it is hurting so many people with that. It's like, no. And it's hard for like child services and people that I interface with a lot to understand simplicity, and that the mother and the father can take these mutated babies and regenerate their own children. Thank you. You know, the insult of academics sometimes and narcissism is unreal.
It is.
But that's the world you live in right now. Exactly.
2019.
2019, power up. Become awake.
The year of higher consciousness on the planet, I think you put it, or something like that.
I mean, this is the time, you know. It's either that, because the negative forces. In Hinduism, this is what they call the Kali Yuga of the... which is, it's the golden age of the Kali Yuga, meaning this is the best it'll be in the Yuga. And the sad thing is that they use Kali, the female principle, as a negative.
Right.
This is the year of the feminine. You can see that in politics and everywhere else. I push ladies, power up, get your power back, because you're the God force, you're the love principle. The male principle can rip things apart, and it's like, no. That's why I don't like to be gendered. When I might be in a male body, but I got a pink shirt on, baby. You're not afraid to wear it.
Exactly.
No, because I love compassion and romance. I love those things. You know, it's tenderness. You don't have to be gendered to do that.
Right.
It's touching the life and touching all aspects of it in the higher levels, you know.
Right.
There's a higher way to have romance. There's a higher way to make love. There's a higher way to do everything, you know, instead of the lower forms of it. Neat stuff.
Very.
I hope they're ready for this.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm not going to try to get too deep.
We've got a ton of those that have been asking for the spiritual side.
Yeah,
I've kind of balanced that out, because we have a lot of people that are not into that sort of thing, and I understand that. If you're not, let's turn this off. Don't listen to the health side of it, because that's the side for the physical body, and actually for all the bodies.
Yeah.
You know, but
or we could try to do a mixture. We could go either way. I was just like, I don't know.
It's both myself, like you said.
Both is good. Balance is good.
Balance is good.
I was just wondering about, you talked about maybe having a documentary with the Discovery Channel or something at some point. Is that still in the works?
You know what? We had this producer, and I don't mention any names, but she's famous. She just produced a big movie that was written by an author we have here too, and it's out at the movies, or soon to be, and so I helped her overcome an extremely serious condition that people die from, and so she wanted to Discovery Channel to come in and do this. But we get all these things like that. We get You Fix Me Up from these famous people in particular. You know, You Fix Me Up. We've got, especially to help others, because I wanted to, she even called here and talked to me and our attorney to set up a foundation. We already have a foundation, but it's just been sitting there. And so she said, well, I got my buddies in Hollywood and we'll throw money in there. And I said, because there's a lot of people out there who have no money, pain, suffering. We can help so many people. So mouth it, you know. We haven't seen them here yet.
Yeah, right.
But you know what? That's just, and this person had a rare genetic thing, according to this famous university. Well, they couldn't find that either. So it's like, but you know, a lot of people mouth things. I say put up where your mouth is, you know, because that's what we do. You know, we help you as much as we can without going bankrupt. I remember one year I was helping 2 quadriplegics and many people without money. I had no money either. You know, I ended up going belly up helping people, and it's like, I can only do so much with that without going belly up. Right. And that doesn't help anybody if you go belly up. So it's like, we're trying to work with balance with that. So we have on site, you know, where you can donate $1 or $5 or whatever to help people, and that's what we do. We help a lot of people, but you know, you can only do so much, and there's so many wealthy people that can help people, but it's all in their level of consciousness, you know.
Right.
And so you can only do so much, but to have Discovery Channel could change the whole world, because this level of healing.
Right, that's going to cost some money.
Yeah, but to watch someone in a wheelchair that cannot talk anymore and that are in the model position come up and start talking and stuff, that's impressive. And they can film that all day long in our case.
Oh, I know, and it's just, people can do good things with money. Yeah. It does happen.
It does happen. But is the planet ready for, because I look at that too as, is this planet ready for this level? Because this is you see how powerful it is. And so is this world ready for that level? We'll see.
Yeah.
Because I know we're helping a lot of people, and I know that I'm here to help a lot of people, and it's working out pretty good.
Right. And this world's claustrophobic. I don't even know if I'm kind. It's a claustrophobic world. I'm like, let's go to the next thing.
I try not to. I'm telling you, sometimes I can't breathe because it is so. You hit it right. Right? So claustrophobic. Oh, it is, man. Conscious is so claustrophobic because you're used to levels that are so expansive, and then you're going, oh no, it's just the pull downwards. It's like, no. I've said that before. This is such a claustrophobic world. You think this is? Try going to the I won't even say the mineral kingdom. Go to the plant kingdom. You want a claustrophobic experience?
Right.
Whoa! You can't. Even though they're my little buddies, you can't go back and experience some of those levels because it's extremely claustrophobic. I won't go there any further than that because you can visit some levels that you might not want to visit there. I wanted to, experience these levels, but not anymore. Mm-hmm. You got to accept that you're where you are, and you've been through a lot of these levels, and going back isn't always fun. It's okay because there's a growth of that, but you got to appreciate where you are in the moment. Mm-hmm. Wow. That's all I'll say about that one. Holy crap! Because it's shoo-wee.
So I wanted to ask you about kind of how you reintegrated into society after being on the national parks, into the woods, and also, that, and then there's a second part to that.
I opened up health food stores. I thought, what can I do, so I opened up health food stores, and but my problem is I started eating out of it. Right. And that's when I learned about nuts. Oh, I learned about whole grains. Raw milk, cheeses, raw milk, yogurts. Back then you could have them. And so Dr. Jensen had the Health Valley Ranch, and so if you see pictures of that, he offered plates of whole grain products and raw milk cheeses. That was the thing. Mm-hmm. But I'm coming from a whole different level, but didn't understand that at the time. Of
course.
So I was going backwards and didn't realize it.
Right.
So I started going nuts and all kinds of things, and I started gaining weight, and I started getting more pain in my body, and going, whoa, this isn't healthy, And so now health food stores has candy in them. And it's like, candy in a health food store? And it's like, what? So there's that trueness that people don't have, and so I started cleaning out my store. I only have everything as pure as I can have it. I had calcium tablets from carrot juice. Back then you could get calcium tablets made from carrot juice. So you don't see too much of that anymore. Mm-hmm. It's just chemistry, isolated chemistry, and it's like, no, that's a no-brainer. Yeah.
So what about, a friend wanted me to ask this, and I wanted to ask this. So along with that question, the isolation mode and the balance mode, because I know you like your alone state, and deeply, I need it. I'm a introvert, I guess, and but not really, but
no, I am too. And yeah, you can be an introvert because that's an adrenal gland issue and stuff, and most of us creative people have our adrenals, but that serves a purpose in that alone state. If I don't get alone state, I go nuts. Yeah. I gotta have I love it totally alone. I don't want anybody around, but I get visitors all the time, and it's like, no, I really love to be alone because it's in that deep aloneness that your connection with the true all of the all is, not in the chaos. The chaos is creation, and I like to be outside of chaos into the extreme now, and that's where we all are. And we are alone in that nowness. I can be with you bros and ladies and stuff, and when you're in the now and I'm in the now, I'm alone, and you're alone. Right. But enter the chaos, and so that's part of the problem. It's hard to be alone with individuals because they like the chaos. And and it's difficult to have conversation in the alone state.
So how do we find the balance? Because it's like a Chinese riddle, I know, but it's just like sometimes I saw a post the other day, someone who's following my Facebook thing, and she was saying that basically, she was venting, and she was like saying that, well, how do I, sometimes I just don't want to talk because I can tell she's really awake and she's on a high level, and sometimes I just don't want to talk because it's like sometimes it's better not to, right?
It's better not to. Don't feel bad about it.
Because no one's going to understand this stuff.
Exactly. And look at how many people are into this, and then their family tears them down.
Oh,
and
God.
we've seen people recently, and I've seen it through the years, die from family members that were pushed them away from where they wanted to be. And it's like, no, sometimes you have to leave the family unit for a while to get into that space, to get to where you want to get in your healing.
Right.
But I've had 50 years of practicing this and going back and forth. And, I just, from here on, it's, and I have a little saying that some of you get is this, how now can you be?
I love that.
How now can you? Because after you understand the present moment, it's how present can you be, and there's only a certain level it'll take you, and then you got to stop because you'll lose your body then. So it's there. I try to interface and keep my nowness. I'm conversing with you, I'm conversing with them, but I'm still in the now, bro.
Yes.
I mean, I just let it flow.
Yep.
And Fubi trained me that way because, like I've said, I've lectured before in front of groups of people, and he popped right here. Start talking to me, and I'm going. Of course, the group couldn't see him. I couldn't night as day, and he starts talking to me, and it's like taught me to pull back. Never read my lecture. Always be it. You see my classes. I don't study for them. I mean, I'm just up there, pow, pow, pow.
No.
It flows through me because if I don't do that, then I can't listen at another level to you guys, and I don't give you what you want. I give you what I want you to have. That's not why you're there. So I try to give you what you want, and I can't do that working with thought and mind. I have to put myself in the present moment, and then it just flows.
Yeah.
And it's just practice.
It's just practice.
It
That's
is.
all it is.
All it
and it
is.
gets so much. It's just the same thing with the negative stuff. You keep doing that, it's going to go that way. You keep practicing and
know your subject, and then just come and let it flow. And I learned that by the trees. I'd give trees lectures and walk on the beach and give seagulls talks and stuff. Well,
that's
well,
really
that's it, man. You have to practice.
You
You
have
can't just, because to articulate this higher level coming through a little individualized mind is difficult, and that's a conditioned mind.
Yeah.
So a lot of times you see and know so much, but then when you start talking, it doesn't come out the way you want it to. It's like, it just takes practice to learn how to set your little mind to the side, because you're so much more, and just let yourself articulate. Work with that. Work with the trees. Work with the plants. They love to listen.
Yeah. When you're in, when you're in the now, let's say 15 hours in a day or something, compared to 1 hour of the day.
Yeah.
That 15 hours of the day is going to have you on such a vibrant, such a tuned in, connected level, and you're going to be getting to your goals, and you're going to a lot faster. You're going to be getting to, you're going to be in the flow the whole time. So you're going to be basically, you're going to be getting the desired results you want faster.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, we have the choice though. And once we understand the truth of what we need to do, and being in the now is the key, that's what we have to do.
Well,
it's just
hard. Well, like I said, you said a key right there. Is you can set aside 20 minutes, a half hour to meditate. Are you kidding? If I set it and go, I'm going for hours. So I try to live it in the present moment, because I live in meditation.
Yes.
It's like, what you're trying to achieve in meditation, you're trying to go somewhere, have an out-of-body experience. Well, that's fun. There's plenty of places to travel, but then who's the traveler?
You can go higher than meditation, right?
Exactly. I mean, when you live in the now, there is no, that is the meditative state. If you were seeking a state to experience the God state, it isn't a state that you meditate to. It isn't a mandala. You are that which is. So there's nowhere to go to have it. It's ever present. That's the point.
Right.
You might be bodied, and it has to go from point to point, but you're not bodied.
No.
So you have to break that chain of awareness and embodiment.
That's good. I think
It's wild.
Yeah.
This ought to be wild for them. Yeah, I know, it is what it is.
Buckle up,
Buckle, hey, that's it. Buckle up, baby, because
sometimes the bull will buck you off. Which is, we buck ourselves off.
That's it.
But we need to know how to ground. I've been on the beach for 4 months with my feet on the ground, swimming in the ocean when it was cold and everything, but it still wasn't enough.
You get kicked off, get right back on,
right
baby.
back on.
Buckle up.
Put the robe on.
Exactly. Put the robe back on. If you kicked your butt, go right back and say, okay, let go. That's the secret. Let go. No matter if it's emotional or mental, let go. It doesn't matter. It'll rip you if you're attached to someone, it can rip that attachment right out of you. And you got to let go of it, because that's what binds you to your experiences, your attachment, and that then brings in all kinds of jealousies and deceits and all kinds of stuff there. When you love from the consciousness, there's no need to love. It just is. That's divine love, and you can love 1,000,000 times greater.
Yeah, it's like I finally got the whatever. I started my grape juice fast at level 2, like before level 2.
Ooh.
So I was starting to, like, I was still not feeling comfortable in my body because I wasn't feeling a lot of pain and issues, and I finally got the courage to ask a question in front of the class, and it was like I was like the only one who asked the question where there was like no, he was just said like one thing, and it was like I said, how do you this is really good. But how do you, when your body's in the physical, when your physical body is in the repair shop, how do you, and what do you do? Like, and he looked at me and he didn't there wasn't a big response. It was just like, let go. And since then, like 3 months or whatever it's been since then, I've really understood that, and if someone tells you something and it sticks, don't forget it, and just, it's a must. Because I've been just letting go and getting the downloads and just tuning in, and I've never felt more connected. Like, I'm so aligned. I've always been pretty much a spiritual seeker, even back way when I was a kid, into shamanism and psychedelics and all this stuff for a very long time.
That's why you were seeking the answers. People judge. Don't judge. They're seeking the answers. In this country, they gel. Other people, you don't gel. You have to see. These souls are even alcoholics. They're seeking the answers. They want to know more of that. When you're fulfilled, you don't need anything to fulfill you anymore. And of course the mushrooms and all that they're talking about. But once you understand the state of nowness, you don't need anything, because it's the most powerful state there is, and it's there for you always. You don't need to smoke. You don't need to have anything, because you're ever present in it, and the vibrations, back down a little sometimes,
It's true.
I know.
It's very true.
And it doesn't have the only up and down it doesn't have the kick like you would be on drugs and stuff like this. The only kick is, like you were saying earlier, is the difference between creation, duality, and consciousness, and learning that kick and learning how to navigate in creation from a higher perspective, instead of being in the movie and the movie kicking your butt.
Even when you've been on a high level for a long time, once you go back, it's hard to get just like back. Back. It's like, for me, it's like once I get on these, like a water fast, water fast or whatever I'm doing, a juice fast, I'm good once I'm on it. But it's so hard just to do what I need to do sometimes, right? It's like,
well, here's the thing. I mean, I look at some of the yogis, and I get that. Some of the gurus and my gurus, and I get that. Yeah. It's easy to do that in a cave.
Right?
It's easy to have your chilas take care of you.
Yeah.
It's not so easy when you're the center of consciousness and that you have to navigate your own world. It's easy to go in a cave and contemplate your navel, or go into a monastery or something, but try being that at all times within the chaos, and that's the point. By being that in the chaos, your survival is far greater, and you will then survive beyond these. And then when you leave the bodies, you will have and then you get to choose what you want to play with. Then you can run world, you can do whatever you want to do, or do like I'm kind of a janitor sort of guy. You kind of clean up some messes.
Yeah.
But it's whatever you want to do in the God world. Right. Fun stuff too.
It's very
cool.
Very fun. There was talk about a level 3 with blood tests or something.
Yeah, what we're doing now? What we're doing now is we're dividing this. Last time we had to combine level 2 with iridology because we couldn't get the stadium. But now we've got 3. So at our level 2, it's in between 1 and iridology, we're going to have blood work, and we're going to have blood pressures and stuff, like learn how to be in practice helping people. The biggest thing I can say out there is lose the whole concept of diseases, because that interfacing with the AMA is getting people in trouble in places. And the FDA announced that anybody that makes claims with their supplements and stuff, if you make claims in the natural health field that this supplement will treat this disease or cure that, you're going to get your butt in trouble.
Oh yeah.
Because that's not what it's for.
Yeah.
And then you're walking down the wrong road to begin with, because they've walked down a road they created and they can't even understand. That's their problem. Let them have all those problems. Understand how simple it is when you break the laws, as you said, when you break the laws of chemistry and physics, there's a price to pay. You can fix that by going back to the laws of nature and fixing it. It's that simple. But they've made complexities, the intellectual mind, the academic has made it complex that they can't even understand. It's like, oh, that's scary. So you treat what you don't understand, and that's killing people at alarming rates and stuff. And it's like, we want to show how simple that any one of you can attain these not lofty heights of spirituality, but also lofty heights of health and vigor. Endless energy and endless feeling good, and just no pain, no aches, and mobility and flexibility, and all of that. Oh my God! I was watching this show. It said the best of creative arts or whatever. It's a new show on TV, and the first one was a martial arts demonstration. And my God, I think they were out of a Shaolin monastery or something. I mean, these guys were like moving their bodies. It was like, when a master can move and get you, and you can't even see his technique, that's quick.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to be into Shaolin or something like that, because it's on the road, all these images are on the road to getting conscious, and stuff. And I like that one where David Carradine was playing the young man, and he was with the master, and the master says, can't you hear that grasshopper down at your foot? And the kid looks down and sees this grasshopper, and the kid says, how is it you can hear that grasshopper? And the master looks at him and says, how is it you can't? It's like, oh yeah, I'm not awake. I wasn't listening. I was too busy thinking.
Right.
I love those things because there's so much wisdom out there to help you trip into awareness. Good stuff.
And like you were saying a minute ago about just basically what you teach and what you're about here and what you've been doing for 50 years.
Yeah. Trying to get it out there, baby.
I've always been looking, like all you guys, always been looking for what true health actually is and how the body actually works with it. And these principles, these teachings, the cards don't lie. It's real.
Yeah.
It's not like, and you only will really understand when you experience it deeply. Like it's and it's like you gotta experience it deeply.
Well, my gig was thinking that people would understand out-of-body travels and consciousness face to face, but that wasn't the case. So we decided to come in the back door, and this health that I'm teaching is the back door to where it brings you.
To higher.
So it's something I haven't talked a lot about, but
yeah.
There is a master plan at play here, this is the back door, teaching you how to get yourself healthy. It then springboards you into what we've been talking about.
Right.
And that's why I'm here. It's not. Right. I'm not here just to give the help. That's easy.
That's
easy stuff. That's my back door to open you up, because front doors are closed and locked.
Right.
Whether you're a Christian or in some religious thing, you've allowed that religion to wrap you and lock you away and to control you and fill you full of fear of the negative forces and the devils and things like this. And it's like, I'm here to free you from that. And the best way to free you is not through the front door, is to come in and let you get your bodies cleaned up, letting go, all the things that you're seeing. And then it is a natural experience, because remember, Jesus, all of you are the living truth. What does that mean? And that's what's cool. So, little secret we're letting go today. A lot of little secrets here, but the year of powering up, baby.
Oh my Lord!
I know.
Wow. Yeah, this one got a little spiritual. I'm speaking of which, are you going to do some seminars? I know you used to do spiritual.
Well, I've done spiritual classes all my life, and I've had a class probably of my entire life. I probably had a class 5 days a week of my entire. I used to have classes 7 days a week, travel to different states and different towns, But I think now my goal is to put these classes more online and have more spiritual seminars. Where all of you get a chance to talk and speak, and that we have workshops and stuff like that.
See that?
That's my goal.
Yeah, let me know if I can.
We tried. Well, I will, because we tried a few years ago, the people around me weren't ready for this, and so I had to kind of pull back a little bit. So now they're getting ready for this, and so you guys in particular. And so I want to have spiritual seminars where that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with your survival beyond this world, and even with this world and with an embodiment. How do you survive it from a higher level and not let the world beat you up? Both emotionally and mentally, because people are getting emotionally ravished and things like this, the unhappiness, people are bitter and angry, and it's like, no, let all that go. Free yourself from that, because it'll take you down to Hellville. And it's like, no, we're here to free you from Hellville, bringing you to Wellville, baby.
I love
yeah,
it.
baby.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh! Wow! Amazing. Yeah, I don't know how much time you got. So
well, we can wrap it up here pretty quick because the energy's getting stronger.
Yeah, it is. It is. Woo. Okay then. The Florida Fruit Fest. I know you were there last year. I haven't seen if you were going to be there this year. Do you know yet?
No, I don't think so, because I've got another thing I'm going to over on the East Coast. And it's just traveling. So sometimes I don't like to do too much traveling.
Yeah, aren't you retired, man? Come on, you're doing like it's hard.
I'm not. I'm so busy that my body can't keep up with me. And so that's the problem that I'm having, is that there's so much that I'm doing that this thing is so slow. It's frustrating me, because it's like, so there's so much, and there's so much inner work we're doing.
I don't see that. A lot of my friends don't either. We're like, whoa, this guy's energy, holy moly.
Well, there's just so much. I mean, there's all things going, and my world is extremely busy. So it's like I'm trying to stay in the now and be that way.
Right.
I'd rather do things by Skype and stuff like that, because I don't know. I come to you on your inner planes and work with you at night when you're asleep and stuff like this, and that's busy. That's busy.
That is.
Fun stuff, though.
Very fun stuff.
Each of you have the same abilities, by the way, and don't take any limitation for granted. Let it all go. Like we say, let it go, and become the unlimited, and holy moly. But like you said, balance is a good key today. Learning balance. If you have to have some Indian food, have some Indian food. Don't take it to heart, because don't let your body control you. Don't let your mind control you. Don't let your emotions control you. You control them. Grab your power back away from them. If you're in pain and suffering, a lot of these people, some lady wrote me, she's been in bed all her life, haven't been able to hold her kids, and I'm crying, It's like, don't identify with your body. We'll get your body healthy.
Right.
We'll get you out of pain and stuff, but get away from that body and consciousness. Free yourself from the earthly prison that you're in.
And how do we do it? We tap in,
conscious.
we tap in, or we tap out, depending on how you look at it.
How you look at it.
And
Yep.
listen,
Become more awake.
Listen to
let go. Let go. Like we're saying, let go of the body. You're not I said this before. Quit being humans. Said that to you guys in class. Remember?
Yeah.
Quit being humans. Because you're being just what you identify with.
Right.
Be the spiritual giant you are, and play the role of human.
True that.
Exactly.
So question again about binges, and this one's for some friends and for
Dangers?
me. Just binging with food, because the cooked food, it's like
some people binge out there. I've had a lot of spiritual buddies. They binge, whether they're totally wrong 1 minute and eating a whole apple pie the next. I don't know what to say about that. You just keep getting your consciousness. You keep gaining that awareness. You don't try to gain it.
Yeah,
it's like having an out-of-body experience. If you try to have an out-of-body experience, you won't.
Right.
You can't try. You have to just totally let go.
Let go of everything.
Let it all go.
Right.
In letting it go, you become more of it.
Yeah.
Hard to define those things.
It's like back when I used to do the drugs, back in the day, it was like divine intervention is how I got out of that. I mean, it was just very profound, but it's like with this, it's like, it's harder because it's food, and it's harder because I've been doing the food longer than I didn't do drugs that long, and it's like, and it's just like,
There's nothing wrong in that, though. I'll be honest with you. There's nothing wrong with binging once in a while. There's nothing wrong with having something bad once in a while.
But for me, it's really...
You can't let it take you down. And if you're going to do it, enjoy the holy hell out of it. Remember what they tell you?
That's the thing.
Don't fight it, because then you'll get all disrupted.
Right.
Enjoy the holy heck out of it.
Yeah.
Go on to the next experience. Don't wallow in it. You know, I just messed up. I did real bad. No. You were soothing an emotional need. Now go on, keep working in the now. You know, you don't carry it with you. You know, and you don't let that desire. Sometimes, like we get people on long-term fast with these tumors in them and stuff like that, and I always say, "What are you craving? Go have it,
go get it,
and then go on." Because if you don't, you're fighting that. That's an energetic fight, and then you lose energy, and then you start beating yourself up. And no, if you crave something that bad, eat it and go straight on to the next moment.
See, some people, myself included, and some of my friends, we have trouble not just enjoying something or enjoying a couple things.
You want to keep going.
It's bad.
I know.
So it just takes time, right?
Everything's addictive.
Yeah.
Everything's addictive.
Anything can be.
Anything.
Yep. Right.
I mean, and you know, on all levels can be addicting. Making love can be addicting. Romance can be addicting. Eating food can be addicting. Taking a shower can be addicting. Some people take a hot tub. I mean, everything can be addicting to you. You got to learn that these are just your drama. This is just your thing. Get more into the self, and then it will at least quit being addicting more and more and more, because you're enjoying and basking in the consciousness. You might play the role. I like different movies. I point to like Michael, where John Travolta is playing this angelic being coming down to help this couple get together, right? So he's saying, well, there's nothing wrong with sugar on cornflakes. Enjoy the moment. The next moment he's back in the heavens again, or he's fighting a bull.
Right.
Just for the fun of it, man. You know, making love to the ladies, just for the enjoyment of it, you know, and then going on to the next thing. And that's the thing, you got to learn to let go, because if not, it gets you right here, baby, and then you wallow with the experience. I don't know much to say about it other than that. You learn to let go, and if you like a pizza, eat a pizza. Of course, it's gonna rip you.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like after a while, when it rips you enough, you don't want the experience no more. It's like, well, you know what? Sounds good, but you know, I'm gonna pass on that.
Right.
Because I don't want the ripping from it. Cause and effect, baby.
It's true. You know, we got this brain that I feel like the survival part of the brain is like, oh, I just want to eat just to survive. But then we have the other part of the brain that goes into the car, turns the key, drives down the road, figures out exactly, because we never mess up, so it's going to have to be really good, and then orders it, eats it, etc., etc.
Hey,
so it just takes time for us who struggle with it. And if it doesn't hurt your body, then that's good. You're at a level. But those of us where we can't stop it, it's just gonna. This
is a tough level.
It's tough.
And I would say this is a tough level for soul to be, or consciousness to find itself into. It's very chemical. It's very isolated, like you said, extremely claustrophobic. So, dear love to all that come into this level. If you travel out of the physical levels, you'll meet beings that have never been to this level, and there's a lot of beings that like to be at this level, really. But after you've been at this level, it's like, you know what, I think I'll pass and go to a higher level, you know, within creation. But it's still duality, but it's a much higher way to express yourself in these levels. So get through this one, you know, and get this lifetime over with, and learn not to come back. And that is letting go of your karma. If you're suffering, let us help you work yourself through that, and then you'll be free of that, because no one's suffering that didn't create it themselves. Got to understand that everything you experience, you created karmatically, whether this lifetime or not, whether you understand it or not, or whether you see it or not. Let go. Let go. It doesn't matter anymore. Keep letting go. Free yourself no matter what you see, how it beats you up. Keep letting go. Keep being in the now. And pretty soon you'll be through that karmatic door, and the freedom will start being yours more and more and more. And we're here to help you do that, guys. And so are all the other masters, the true masters here. They're not going to do it for you, but they sure will help you with the 2x4 on hand.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, you know. You want the ultimate ride. Hey, it's been fun.
It's been really fun.
Oh, it's been fun. I love you, man.
Was wondering, I love you too. Was wondering a quick thing.
Sure, yeah.
I got my eye pictures from like over a year ago on my phone, and then I have them from 3 months ago. Ooh. I don't know if
You want
Just
to talk
because
to
you
them?
can see me, I think it might help to see the person behind the eyes. I don't know
Well,
if you've
let's
done
look
that
at
before.
the eyes. You want to look at it?
Yeah, sure.
Now, we don't have any way to show them the eyes.
Can't we just do?
Yeah, we could. We
that-
could. You've got to get up there close.
Yeah. Okay. So look at how bad that one. So this.
My God. Well, show them all that white.
Yeah.
Now, you got good genes, though. Look at that good genes. Oh, man, you're lucky. That's why you're tolerating this pretty good. Stomach, you see that right around the pupil, the stomach, and the GI tract.
Yeah.
Hello. Maybe a little skin ring there, but look at this. Fine. Now, this right, left. Which eye is this one?
This is the right, and that's my broken hip. I mean, the iridology guys, no joke.
Oh, I love it.
No joke.
Oh, no
The cards
joke.
don't lie. It's exactly
right
tells
on.
you every little.
If you know how to read them.
If you know how to read them. Some people don't know how to read them the best way.
Exactly. Look at all that white, that thick white. Now, I've showed these before. You know what that white is. Heavy lymph stagnation.
Yeah, just super clogged.
Where's the before now?
So this was, 14 months ago. And then this was
Oh my God.
3 months ago.
Look at the difference.
And you can see my...
Look at the difference. Holy crap.
And you can see
really
the
got
nerve
to
ring.
show that. Yeah, but now you can see deeper because you were so clouded up. You know what? Show them. Yeah, okay. Let's show them here. Let me see here.
How do we do this?
All right.
So those.
Now, do you see
from a year
all
ago.
this thick white in this eye? This thick. Oh, I just hit it. Got it off of there.
Okay.
Now, you see that thick white, and you can see it right in here. Now, show them the after.
So, and that's the other eye that's even worse.
Oh yeah, look at that thick white.
Look at that. That's my fractured, broken hip that happened 16 years
Look at
ago.
that.
That's right in the pelvic region, guys.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
And then this.
Look at
this
that.
was
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
Level.
Yeah, look at how the clearing is way out in the tissues here. Look at that. Look at that. Sinuses have to drain, but look at that. Now you can focus in. You see your weaknesses in the stomach and stuff. You didn't see them as much before. But look at how much clearing you've had lymphatically speaking. You don't think that's a big deal? It's a huge deal. Yeah, look at that.
And some
you
healing
look at
lines,
that. Look
right?
at that healing lines. Oh, everywhere. The stomach area has to be, and that's what you're working on right now. A little skin working on that. But look at how less that white thickness. That's a big deal. That's a huge deal.
Yeah.
Huge deal. I don't have enough to get focus in on it.
No, I just
But I'll tell you
thought
something.
that might
That's
help.
a huge deal. When you can move systemically, your sewer system, that I can't even tell you how a huge deal. That's your acid system,
Right.
and you have cleared a lot out. You have major changes. Matter of fact, you might want to show them to Megan, have them get befores and afters, and when the class will show them.
I'm gonna get more.
But I love befores and afters. Show the world what you're doing.
Yeah.
This is the changes in your
Right.
eye because suppose the eyes don't change, right?
Right.
That's the nerds.
Right.
No. They change.
Right.
Baby, they reflect
Right.
real time. And so what you see now, it's like your hip, what you see now, as you improve those tissues, you have to first clean that acid stagnation out, and then you really get incredible regeneration. You're already strong constitution, so you're going to heal at a triple rapid rate.
Yeah.
I know, but you look at the lymph you got out of you. It's like night and day when you look at it real close.
Right.
The thickness of that acute. Acute turns your blue eye white.
Right.
White. Subacute, then that white starts turning yellow. And then when that yellow turns brown, you're in the chronic levels, baby. But you see how much of that white you got out? Amazing. Amazing.
It's amazing. I mean, guys, try to get your eye pics as soon as you can because
Fun stuff.
when you see where it goes later on.
Before and afters.
Because sometimes I think Marcy, one of you guys said it in a video. If you're not having some sort of uncertainties or doubts, because this can be a long journey, it's good to have things that prove it. And there's the filtration will prove it. The transverse draining will prove it. It all will prove it.
Your symptomology disappears. Everything proves it down the line.
Yep.
Your blood work always gets perfect, but
Right.
it isn't the blood we're going after. It's the lymphatic system, so the blood always looks good. They can never figure it out, too. A lot of people have healing crises and get scared, go to the emergency room.
Yeah.
Every single time, they can't find it. They can't find it. And it's like, because you're looking in the wrong places, bros.
Yeah.
You know, it's not blood that's the problem, it's the lymphatic system, and the healing crises are within that system, you know.
Right.
The blood is always going to be the blood.
It's true.
Love you, bro. Fun stuff.
you.
We'll
Thank
get this video going, and I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's spiritual. They've been after me to do a spiritual video. We needed to talk spiritually, and fun stuff. Have fun. That's what I say, you know, when it boils down to it. You're either having fun or you're not.
It's true.
Power up, baby.
Yes. Get it back, guys.
Yeah.
Love you guys.
Love you guys.